Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Castlevania Marathon, and this time we are tackling what I think is the best in the entire franchise, which is Symphony of the Night. I love this game. It's no big secret. It didn't matter if it took till like 2003 during my high school senior year for me to be able to play this game via borrowing a copy of the game from one of my friends and using an emulator, playing the numerous ports that has been released on over the years, or just finding new things, whether it's just to beat the game faster or learning secrets I had completely overlooked. Despite that, I fell in love with this game. And we're going to go ahead and start a whole new file. Just for placeholder's sake. Anyways, and the intro is pretty much a recreation of the final stage from Rondo of Blood. This version of Richter, however, full control of his jumps, can do a super jump, can do that whip dangling, and interesting enough, does that dash attack, can slide, and a slide jump attack. So I would call this a horribly inaccurate retelling of the finale of Rondo of Blood. And yeah, the PS4 version of this game does use the voice acting from the PSP version, which I'm going to tell you, I honestly prefer this over the PS1 version. Because dare I mention the PS1 version's voice acting? Its reputation is legendary for just being how awful it is. I mean, with the exception of Robert Belgrade, who voiced Alucard, all the other voice actors just pretty much recite their lines with the enthusiasm of porn stars. Now, even though the PSP voice acting can sound a little wooden, which you're about to hear in a minute, I still think the choice of actors as well as the effort was much better this time around. Without further ado, here it is.
Dracula, die now and leave this world. You'll never belong here.
Oh, but this world invited me. Your own kind called me forth with praise and tribute.
Tribute? You're a thief. You steal men's souls, their freedom.
Freedom is always sacrificed to faith, good hunter. Or are you truly here by choice?
All I'm here for is you. To hell with your heresy! You're nothing but a blight on mankind.
Ha! Mankind. A cesspit of hatred and lies. Fight for them, and die for their sins!
So yeah, in the original PS1 version, his line is, "What is a man? A miserable little pile of secrets." Well, yeah, it's a little disappointing they did change up some of the lines, but I still enjoy Patrick Seitz voicing Dracula. Even though every time I hear him, the first thing I think of is Ragnar the Blood Itch from Blaze Blue. Now, if by some chance you do lose all your health, Maria will run in and summon all her animal buddies to help you. And for the record, I will cover some areas of the... there are 2 areas that are exclusive of the Saturn version, which I will cover in 2 separate videos. And he's done.
Impossible! Not this time!
Count Dracula had risen with the aid of the Dark Priest Shaft to menace humanity once again. The legendary vampire hunter, Richter Belmont, stood against him and at last brought him down. However, 4 years later, on a glaring full moon night, Richter mysteriously vanished. Maria Renard set out to find him, but knew not where to begin. It was then that fate intervened. Castlevania, the Castle of Dracula, rumored to appear once every century, suddenly materialized from the mist, as if to show her the way. Meanwhile, powerful forces struggled for the soul of a man named Alucard. He who had once fought alongside Trevor Belmont against his own immortal father, Count Dracula himself. To purge the world of his own cursed bloodline, Alucard had submerged his vampiric powers and fallen into what was meant to be eternal slumber. But now, he awakens to the cackles of evil and cries of the innocent. The eternal battle of good and evil has come full circle once more. Dracula's castle beckons for you, and no man can say who will emerge victorious.
So yeah, a little off-synchronous with the text scroll and voice acting, but otherwise it's still good. And I should note the PSOne version, except for the Japanese version, there was no spoken lines at all. Just the text scroll. So begins the Metroidvania, or the very first one of them all. The one thing that always stuck with me is just how wickedly smooth Alucard's animation here is. And yeah, it's the same Alucard from Castlevania 3, and well, let's just say 300 years later, story-wise after that game, let's just say he's looking pretty damn good for his age. And you do get RPG in this game, other than playing like Metroid, introduce RPG elements, as you can see, you know, experience, amount of gold acquired from fallen enemies, equipable items, as well as disposable consumable items, whether they're one-off weapons or potions that restore your HP and MP and whatnot, as well as items, equipable items with different stats. So with that out of the way, let's further continue. Beautiful graphics, not to mention an amazing soundtrack. All I can say is Michiru Yamane strikes again. And over here is actually a good area to actually gain a few levels, if you want to make sure you're prepared. So, the Alucard sword, Now, you do lose it very soon, along with all the other equipment that you have, which you will get back on the second half of this game. More specifically, I should say, the true second half of this game. And like I said, so if you've ever played Metroid, you will be right at home with this baby. So... And to think that Sony wanted nothing to do with 2D games. Well, a la carte animation right here should tell you they almost made the biggest mistake in their life.
Alucard, what is your business here?
I've come to put an end to this.
Ever the insolent boy. But there will be no games here. If you will not behave, be gone.
I will do neither. Step aside, old man.
Such arrogance. Very well. But I shall see you very soon.
And all my items are stolen. Now, technically, you can play this game with nothing but your fists. But, honestly, I think the sword does a better job. A single-handed sword, as well as a shield. And as far as equipable items go, there are some items that are just flat-out disgusting in terms of their stat. And this will increase the overall hearts that I can get, or carry. Just like they're permanent upgrades for your health. Anyways, let's get going. Alright, now, here we go. So yeah, Jerk stole everything I had, except for my one-off item, as well as my healing items. Anyways, I believe there's the save room right there. Now, the Red Rust isn't as strong as the short sword, but we will use it later. If you're wondering why that starting is, it's because it's saving that save file for the first time. It's even worse on the PSOne version, because I do remember having the disc copy of the PSOne version freeze on me on an actual PS1, and even my PS2. Now, I do have the PSN release of the PS1 version on my PS3, where that issue's been practically nullified. Ah, the Alchemy Lab. If there's one thing I absolutely love other than the music, the backgrounds in this game are just beautiful with a capital B. Alright, Hind Caress, that'll heal me up some. Ow. And a leather shield. That'll... Now, you'll still take damage with this on, but... Or better yet... I think the reason why I'm actually taking some damage is because I didn't spend additional time over there leveling myself up. Because usually, at that first area where I'm fighting all the mermen, I'll usually level myself up to level 6 or 7. But that's okay. Because truth be told, like I said earlier, I have played and beaten this game God knows how many times, to the point I'm not all that worried. There we go. The dagger. An alright sub-weapon, but I'd still prefer the holy water in certain areas. There we go. Move this over. There we go. Ow. Hold on. I think there was an area I was supposed to go back to earlier, which we'll get there in a minute. Cloth cape, we'll use that. I think it goes back down here. No, must be the other one. Here, I think. There we go. Knew I overlooked something. Alright. So yeah, just like Metroid, there are hidden rooms. Some are necessary, some you can just pass over without worry about, but if you really want to extend your health or find some really good items, it really helps to try everything out. Plus, you do get the help of familiars. The fairy familiar will help you detect hidden rooms. And we're close to the real first boss. Alright, I want to take out that bone spittle real quick. There we go. Because I want to save here, just in case. And if you notice that little device in the background, it saves. That was the same item you saw in the Netflix Castlevania series that Controlled, where the castle would teleport. Just thought I'd point it out, because it's a neat little Easter egg. Now then. Anybody recognize that asshole? Thankfully, he's much easier this time around. That's one. And Gaibin's done. Now, in the PS1 and Saturn version, the sparkles, they move really slow. Especially in the Saturn version. Now, the Sega Saturn release of this game was only exclusive to Japan, and it had 2 extra areas that were never ported into any other version. And the reason why we're not going to do that version, other than language, is it's rough around the edges in terms of pretty much everything. I mean, there's a considerable amount of slowdown in certain areas, not to mention there are areas that had load times that were never there. It's still playable. That version is still playable, and I have no regrets spending the big bucks for it. But I do recommend for anybody who wants to play through this game for the first time, try out every other version, whether it's the PS1, PSP, the Xbox 360 version, which is the PS1 version, voice acting at all. The only difference is the FMV cutscenes are nowhere to be seen. So, I would recommend only getting the Saturn version if you have the big bucks for it, because it is in the triple digits, but for me, I had no regrets buying it. I just kind of wish the 2 extra areas were included. And plus, I should also point out that in every other version, you can unlock both Richter and Maria, well, excluding the PS1 version. Maria in the Saturn versions, her movesets are very different compared to what we saw in the PSP as well as this version. Whereas in this, she plays a lot like her younger counterpart from Rondo of Blood. So, I think we're just about done with this area. For now, anyways. Now, we'll be doing some revisits in certain areas. So... There's a certain sub... Yep, I did not want to pick that up. Alright. Now that taken care of, I do want to hit up one of the spot in here. Oh. Now, when you're poisoned, it doesn't sap away your health, but what it does, it just makes you weaker. Which I think is a better punishment than, say, what poison status does in other RPGs like Final Fantasy and whatnot. Ooh. Ow. Ow. So until that discoloration on Alucard disappears, I'm pretty much poisoned for now. So let's give it a minute. Hang on. No, didn't think so. There we go. Looks like I'm finally in the clear. Now then, moving on. The Marble Gallery. Here we go. Just the one sub-weapon I needed. As long as you time and aim just right, you can do a lot of hits on some of these enemies with the holy water. There's one area I have in mind, which I will get there, but first... save and heal up real quick. And by the way, each part I'm doing for this game, I'm going to make sure it doesn't exceed an hour, and I do have a stopwatch nearby so I can keep my eye on how much time I'm spending on this. Ow. As far as who did Alucard's voice in this game, well, instead of Robert Belgrade, we had Yuri Lowenthal. God, I love... yeah, right, these fucking marionettes. There we go. Because there's one other item, or relic, I should say. This relic is the Spirit Orb, and I believe this tells me... Well, let me double check. Cubizo... Yep, it shows how much damage I'm doing to enemies. Which is very helpful if you want to gauge and make sure you know exactly how strong you are. Because just like any other RPG, the more experience points you get and level up, the tougher and stronger Alucard is. Here's why I need said holy water. It's for that asshole. And there's another one too. Alright. And I should point out that in the Saturn version, over here is the door to one of the two areas that are exclusive to that version, which is the Cursed Prison. Ow. No. No. Oh, you hell no. Hold on. There we go. There we go. Screw the F you. I'm gonna hit at least one switch and I'm gonna go back the way I came in. And just in case... There we go. Moving on. Here we go again. There we go. Let me go ahead and equip my shield back. And pretty much max out my hearts. Come on, get up there. Now, as to where you go and spend the money that you're acquiring, that won't be till I get to the library. Whoa. Alright. Ow. There we go. That takes care of that. Should have leveled up earlier, but I'm not too worried. Just to make the trip a little easier. Anyways. Oh, come on. I'm gonna ignore them. Creepy ass toys. Alright. Do another save. Because I want to keep whatever level ups I have. Now then. These little bastards. Ow! Yeah, I didn't think so. So yeah, I gotta deal with the fucking Fleamen, but they're not as horrendous as the classic Castlevanias. Anyways.
Wait, are you human? What are you doing here?
I've come to destroy this castle.
Likewise. I'm Maria. And you are?
Alucard.
Well, if you're a better swordsman than a speaker, perhaps I'll see you again. Farewell.
I want to say that was Michelle Ruff voicing Maria. I'd have to double check though. Anyways. And it would make sense if it was her. I mean, both her and Yuri Lowenthal have done quite a good number of games that animes together. Persona 3 would be the one that stands out the most. Alrighty. So that actually down there leads me to a certain other area that I need to get to later on. If not in this part, it'll be in the next part. Anyways. Now this is what I call a marble gallery. This one, another thing I just can't help but love about this game is when you defeat your enemies, especially bosses, they will just explode in a blaze of glory. And nothing's more satisfying than that. Yeah, let's keep that axe for now. And if you notice in the background, there was a giant eyeball peeping through the windows. And now... Whoa. There we go. I want to take him out real quick. Yeah, Medusa heads are there. Now, chill here for about a minute or two. And there's a reason for that. Don't blink. Hang on a sec. Let's try this again. Right here. I think it's best to make sure he doesn't go close to the wall. I think that's how it works. There we go. Where does it lower me to? Here. So I believe I got a better set of armor. Yep. However, I can't get out that way, so we just have to ride that back up. Anyways, I just thought that was a neat little feature. And this place is crawling with not only nasty underlings such as these Medusa heads, but also neat little features. So, let's go to here. Just sit in the chair for no reason. Telescope. Where have we seen that guy before? Anyways. Moving on. Yeah, that's alright, I already got that one. Anywho's. There we go. And save file or room. Perfect. Now, what I'm about to face is where the red rust will actually come in handy. So, alright, just want to make sure. I just need to get one good hit, and then I'll switch back to my short sword. That always was cool. Now he can't use his sword. Whoa! And that was pretty quick, if not easy. And right up ahead, I should be getting... There we go. A stronger sword. The Gladius. And it's actually got a little more range, too. Now, let me see if I can get that base right there. There we go. One good jump was all it took. And another quick level up. Perfect. Let's go ahead and do a save. Explore one other major area before we call it a part. And yes, that is an elevator, but in order to get it to work, I had to hit the switch. And yeah, you may notice that the PS4 and PSP version of Symphony of the Night has a couple of tiny graphical errors, but nowhere as bad as, say, what was in the ending scene for the PSP and Xbox 360 version, where somehow it was the background seems like super stretched and warped. Thankfully, they fixed it in this release. And before I forget, let's go in here real quick. And these are your warp points. So, as long as you pay attention to the top of the keyhole, for example, went from a scorpion to a horse head, you'll be able to identify exactly where those warp locations go without hitting select button and checking your map. There we go. Let that sink all the way down, and then we can continue forward. And as far as... And before I forget, so where the other Saturn exclusive area is the underground garden, which is right where the castle gate is at the very beginning. The bottom left corner of this map. Now, without further ado... And yeah, those yellow Medusa heads will petrify you. You gotta love those things. Not. Anyways, here we go. And the elevator is on. And I can also get my first transformation, which is the wolf. There we go. Now then, let's head to the library. The long library. Alright, so it's 3 hits. Make sure I get all arrows first. There we go. Want to take care of that real quick. Every penny counts. I'm sorry, but that's just how I am. Alright, is that any better than what I have on? Indifferent. Okay. Did it say resist stoning? Yeah. I think it should have meant petrification, but... I don't know, it's just humorous when you think about it. Alrighty. Oh, these guys. Now, they'll curse you, and if you're cursed, you won't be able to wield your primary weapon. Oh! And they will spin around fast, these ectoplasms. So as long as you take them out fast, it shouldn't be much of a problem. One way to make Hermione from Harry Potter cry is destroy these books. Anyways. So this fairy scroll tells you what these enemies are when you strike them. Like so. Ow. And we will be going back to this library later in the game.
It's been a long time, old one.
Eh? Why, it's Master Alucard. Come to visit, have we?
I need your help.
Oh, but young master, I could never betray the good Count.
You won't go unrewarded.
Really? In that case, just tell me what you need.
Money is always a necessary evil, but
How about this?
if you acquire any rings, you can sell them for money.
Thank you.
How about this?
Jewel of Open, gotta have that.
Thank you.
What else is there? Where is it? Here we go. Castle map. Gotta have that one.
Thank you.
Dark Metamorphosis. Trying to remember how. Now, the magic scrolls, what they do is they just give you details on how to perform certain spells. The best one, in my opinion, is Soul Steal, where it pretty much acts like a screen nuke, but at the same time, every hit it does on enemies will heal you 8 points per hit. So it's very helpful, especially when you learn the button combinations. And whilst I'm at it, let's see how much gold do I have left. Yep, we'll get this.
Thank you.
What about armor? Nah. We should be fine for now. In tactics, what tactics really are is it's kind of like what was in Rondo of Blood, by showing you, you know, a quick little video as to how to take down certain bosses. There we go. So we're done with the library for now. There we go. Take these guys down a little quicker. So, as to where we have to head to next, well, we'll have to go back to the Marble Gallery. Now, let me see. Now, when you turn to stone... No, hang on. If you do it just right... Yes! That is fucking awesome! Alright, try it again. Now, I'm trying to figure out how you do it again. Well, I'm not too worried, but I figured... come on! Alright, now you're just pissing me off. There we go. But I just want to demonstrate that. I just thought it was a neat little detail. Ow. If you look close to the window, yep, you can see that giant eyeball peeping at you. Talk about creepy. Anyways. Now, as far as what that jewel is that I bought from the librarian, we're about to go to right where it is that we use it for. In fact, it's used in 2 doors, to be specific. So, notice this door right here. Now, if we go to the upper right, hit that switch, and there's 2 trapdoors that'll be open. Ow. Not here, but the other one. Ow. Damn you. Down here. Here we go. This is where our next area is, which is where we're going to be saving. Yep, we get to deal with these assholes again. First, I want to make sure there isn't anything I need to grab. Ow. There we go, just what I wanted. Holy water. Bandana. Anywhere else you need to go to? Nope. That should be it. I'm gonna double check real quick. Alright, I think that's it. No, I don't want that. There we go. There we go. Alright, so we're gonna save here. Alright. And I think we're gonna go ahead and just call it a part here. But yeah. So far, this is actually an excellent start of what I think is the best in the entire franchise. So, Thank you guys for watching. Have a fan-freaking-tastic night, and I will see you next time at the next part. Take care.